Imagine, you are standing in a public bathroom. In your hand, you are holding your 5-year-old son. You are bathing him. In a dirty, cold bathroom. This is not your home. This is a subway station bathroom. You are homeless. You only have $21. Your wife has already left you. But in your mind, there is a dream. And you have made a decision. You will not give up. Today, I am going to tell you a story that will prove that. Even from rock bottom, you can rise. You can go from homelessness to becoming a millionaire. And you can turn the impossible into possible. This is the true story of Chris Gardner, San Francisco. Chris Gardner is 27 years old. He invested all of his savings to buy medical equipment that he planned to sell to hospitals. He is a salesman. But the problem is, no one wants to buy it. His wife is frustrated. The bills are not being paid. There is tension in the house all the time. And then, his wife leaves him and goes away. But she leaves their son, Christopher, with Chris. Now Chris is alone, a 5-year-old son. No money, no wife, no support. Imagine that situation. You are alone. You are responsible for an innocent child who calls you dad, who trusts you, who believes that his father is a hero, but you yourself do not know where tomorrow's food will come from. Chris had 2 options. Give up. Hand his son over to someone else. Fight, no matter what happens. Get beaten, but do not give up. Chris chose the second option. Chris got a chance. An internship at the Dean Witter brokerage firm, but it was not paid. No salary for 6 months. The competition was very hard. Only one person was going to get the job out of 20 interns. Think about it. You are homeless, you have a son, and you are accepting an unpaid internship. Sounds crazy, right? But Chris knew this was his only chance. If this internship could make him a stockbroker, then he could give his son a better life. He accepted it, but then the problem became even bigger. They could not pay the rent. An eviction notice arrived. Chris or Unca Beta. Homeless ho gay. Yes, homeless. The first night they were thrown out of their home. Chris slept on a bench in a subway station with his son. At that time, his son was only 5 years old. Chris explained it to him like a game. We are time travelers, and this is our cave for tonight. He put his son to sleep with a smile. But inside, he himself was breaking apart. Some nights they stayed in a homeless shelter. They stood in lines for hours to get a place in the shelter. Sometimes when they didn't get a place, they locked themselves inside a bathroom and slept there, holding his son in his arms. During the day, he would wear a suit and go to the office, a smile on his face. No one knew where this man slept at night. Have you ever thought how difficult it is to wear a suit, act professional, while going through the darkest phase of your life? Chris Gardner did this every single day. During the internship, Chris knew that he had to work harder than everyone else. He arrived at the office first and left at the very end. But he had very little time. Why? Because he also had to stand in line for the shelter. If he didn't reach by 5 o'clock, he wouldn't get a place. So what did Chris do? He learned efficiency. He made phone calls faster. He didn't take bathroom breaks so that no time would be wasted. He even drank less water so he wouldn't have to go to the bathroom. Every second mattered. During the day, he spent 3 to 4 hours with his son, teaching him, playing with him. Then when his son fell asleep, he would read books, learn the stock market, and prepare for the next day. Sometimes he didn't even have money for food. He would donate blood so that he could get a little money. That money went toward buying milk and food for his son. This struggle continued for 6 months. Think about it. 6 months, 180 days. Waking up every day with the thought, will we get a place today or not? Will we get food today or not? Will I be able to do well in the internship? But Chris never complained. He never had a victim mentality. He had only one mantra: I can be better than I am today. I will give my son a better life. And here's the most important thing. Chris never showed weakness in front of his son. He always smiled, stayed positive, because he wanted his son to remain confident and happy. This is a real father. This is a real warrior. 6 months later, that day finally came. The last day of the internship. The results were about to be announced. Out of 20 interns, only one was going to get the job. Chris was sitting in the office. His heart was beating hard. He had put his entire life into this moment. And then, his name was called. Chris Gardner, you're hired. Imagine that moment. 6 months of homelessness. 6 months of struggle. Sleeping in a bathroom with his son. Donating blood for food. Every day, insults. Every day, pain. All of it for that one moment. Chris walked out of the office. He stood in the crowd, and he cried, Kushi Keansu, relief Keansu, survival Keansu. He looked up at the sky and said thank you to himself, to his hard work, and to his son, who had been his support. From that day on, Chris Gardner's life changed. Chris Gardner did not stop at just becoming a stockbroker. He started his own brokerage firm, Gardner Rich & Co. He became a millionaire, then a multi-millionaire. Today, his net worth is $60 million plus. He wrote a book, The Pursuit of Happyness, which became a bestseller. Hollywood made a movie on his life. Will Smith played his role. The movie became a worldwide hit. But the biggest success was this. He gave his son the life he had promised. His son, Christopher Jr., is today a successful businessman. Today, Chris Gardner is a motivational speaker around the world. He says, the cavalry ain't coming. You gotta save yourself. Meaning no one is coming to save you. You must become your own hero. So what do we learn from Chris Gardner's story today? First, rock bottom can be a blessing. When you are at your lowest, you have nothing left to lose. You only have one way up. Second, no sacrifice is too small for your dreams. Chris sacrificed everything, comfort, pride, security, but he never gave up on his dream. Third, consistency is everything. Not one day, not 2 days. Working consistently for 180 days, that is what creates a champion. Fourth, remember your why. Chris's why was his son. When your why is strong, your how automatically appears. If today you are going through any problem, remember Chris Gardner. The man who once slept in a bathroom is today a millionaire. Your problem is also temporary. Your hustle must be permanent. Don't give up. Your breakthrough is coming. This was the story of Chris Gardner. If this story inspired you, take action now. Start working on your dreams. Because remember, you are just one decision away from a completely different life. Thank you.